Okay, well, that's embarrassing, guys, because we were having technical difficulty today on our very first launch of Tech Talk Tuesday. So hang on. We had to use a different software program because Facebook wasn't letting us go live today. And we'll be right back. So hang on. We are going to have Tech Talk Tuesday.
Hello?
Hey, there you are.
Yeah, so I'm having camera.
Oops, you went away. Let's try that again. You went away. There you are.
Something else on my computer using the camera.
Okay. Do you see the settings on the right?
Let's see.
And it'll say camera. Do you see off to the far right panel somewhere the little settings?
I don't have a settings from, I just have like a camera thing and it won't let me select the camera. It says something else is using it. So I'm shutting everything else down to see if I can get it.
Can you believe this? Our first tech talk and we have this problem. So nothing across the bottom dashboard that says camera and mic, a little.
Yeah, there is, but it won't let me select my camera.
Got it. It's not letting you change or select your camera. The only other thing I can do is well, you should be able to go live on Zoom to Facebook, right? Well, I couldn't, but gee whiz. All right, let's try one more thing. Okay. I am going to pull up Zoom one more time. I'm going to create a whole new Zoom meeting and see. All right. Guys, we are having problems. I don't think anybody's even on here, but there you are. Yay. What'd you do? Let me add to the stream. There we go.
I just had to leave and come back and then it did what I needed it to do. So
awesome.
Here I am. I made it.
Well, what's so funny is nobody seems to be here with us. So that's probably a good thing. How embarrassing. We're live streaming, but let's see why we're not seeing anything. Hang on real quick. If you guys are there, just say hello.
Yeah, if anybody's out there, say hello.
Yeah, if anybody's out there, you should be able to type. Oh, there they are. See, they've just been watching us thinking, what is wrong with these people? There they go. They're coming in. They're here.
Okay, great.
So, guys, we're not sure what happened, but when we went to live stream from the Zoom account, there was a glitch. So when I went to live stream to Facebook from my Zoom account, it would not let me today. So that's why we're using StreamYard, which is unfamiliar to Jeannie, but she knows Zoom like the back of her hand. So hello, Dawn. Great to see you. So Dawn is here and
Hey,
Beatrice
Dawn.
is here And somebody who has not given StreamYard permission yet to show their name says hello. Beatrice says, I see you. So it's like, okay, of course this would happen when we launch our Tech Talk Tuesday, as if we don't know anything about tech. Well, we know enough to be dangerous.
Yes,
and we know the topics that we want to share with you. Oh, geez. So, Jeannie, do you have the ability to share your screen?
Yes, I believe I do. I'm just bringing my video back up. I had to close
Bring the video back up because the screen share is different.
Okay.
And so it is going to ask you, you're probably going to have to pick the tab in the middle that says like Chrome. It's great.
Okay.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. Thanks for your patience. Too bad we didn't.
Yes.
It's nothing like learning the hard way in front of everybody, but that's okay. You're going to love this talk today. So when you share your screen, you have to hit share screen.
Okay.
You'll probably have to go to application window or Chrome tab.
Okay.
If you go to Chrome tab, you should see a list of all your tabs that are open. And if you see the one that's open, great.
Okay.
If not, the application tab might show the application that you have open.
All right, great. Great. Well, I'll share my screen a little bit later when kind of intro the video and that kind of thing.
Oh, great. Okay. So, well, let me just welcome everybody then for our disastrous debut of our Tech Talk Tuesdays. But we have been hearing from so many of our CBF members and others saying, there's lots of little technology hacks and new technology, software and applications that would help make our lives easier, either help us make more money or help us live better. And so Jeannie mentioned in our group the other day of a technology she is using. It's an online technology that's really making things much simpler for her, and especially a brand new business, a small business that's still using their cell phone. It's kind of taking over their life. And so I asked her to launch our Tech Talk Tuesday and tell us how she uses Dialpad in her business. So I'm going to hand it over to her. And when you're ready to share your screen, I'll make sure I walk you through it.
Okay, great.
You're golden.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Debbie. And thank you everyone for joining me today. I am excited to talk with you about something I'm passionate about. Switching over my phone service from this phone to Dialpad was a lifesaver for me as a business owner. In the cleaning business, and I'm sure many of you can relate, when you first start out, your personal cell phone is your business phone. And it is ringing off the hook if you're growing your business, between employees calling you with questions, or they're calling in sick, or your customers, want to skip or change something. It's constant, and it's 24/7. It's something that you just can't seem to escape and can't figure out how to create those boundaries. Well, the good news is technology can help. And I have tested several phone systems and have found that we just love Dialpad here in my business, Jeannie Cleaning. My team absolutely loves it. And the great thing is my phone doesn't ring anymore as I have grown my business. And what a change that has been for me. So I want you to just imagine for a minute getting control of your phone and not having it buzzing at you with texts and phone calls around the clock, nights and weekends, because that's what can happen in your life and in your cleaning business when you employ technology to help you grow. And I know many of you are at that point where you're like, oh, this could be a huge business if I could just implement some systems and get things under control. Well, that's what you can do, starting with a voice over IP phone system. So Dialpad is the one that I have chosen and that I'm using, but there are many others I have tested and that other people have tested. There are some free ones like Google Voice. There are others like Grasshopper. Some people shared some others out there. Verizon has one that's called One Talk. There are many others. This is the one that I have found works for me. And clients, now that I've grown my business and I have people on my team to help with sales and customer service, customers no longer expect to talk to me. They still hear my voice on the answering system.
I am going to pull up Zoom one more time.
Okay. And what my customers have learned is that my team is reliable, and just as reliable as I am. They probably know the job better than I do now. And the cool thing is that even though I'm not the one speaking to my customers, the other thing that I've done is teach my employees to speak with the voice of my brand. And that's something that's really important. So before I go into Dialpad, I just want you to think about that at some point you can hand off those phone calls to other people on your team. You can delegate that, and you can teach them how to speak with your voice, the voice of your brand. And our brand is smiling and friendly and professional. One of the words that we also use to define our brand is grateful. So I have defined the type of communication that we use, and Dialpad has allowed me to have freedom to work on my business instead of constantly working in my business. So Dialpad, again, is a voice over IP phone system. It works on cell phones. So you download an app, which mine is right here on my front screen here. I have a Dialpad app. It rings my phone just like any other phone call. I also can receive text messages, and it's just as easy to use as using your cell phone, but now it's a separate phone number. And actually in my system, I was able to set up multiple phone numbers so the phone will ring to the right person depending on what people are calling about. So I'm going to share a little bit with you first. I'm just going to share with you a video of Dialpad. Hey there, Debbie.
Hey, I think we're going to have to share the video with them later.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't know how to get your sound to work through StreamYard. So far, that's been something I haven't figured out. So I think we'll share that video with them later in this group, but you can just show them. We should be able to share your screen if you have PowerPoint.
Yeah, I didn't prepare a PowerPoint today, so I was going to show the video, so that's okay.
Okay.
We don't have that, but so definitely look up Dialpad. Just Google it. You can find their website. They're amazing. I can maybe give you a little tour of that.
I was going to say, you could do a little tour if you pull up your Dialpad. If it's pulled up in Chrome, then when you share your screen, you should be able to pick the Chrome tab and pick the Dialpad page that's open.
Yeah, so I'll just give you a tour of my Dialpad. I'm just bringing that up here. All right, I'm going to get to my dashboard. Just one moment as I'm getting to the dashboard.
While she's pulling that up and getting it set up, thanks guys for being with us on our inaugural launch of the Tech Talks. What I love about Dialpad is not everybody can, well, most people don't even have hardwire phones anymore, right? We don't have landlines anymore. We have voice over IP in most cases, but this is an inexpensive way to have multiple lines. I think you can even have up to 5 free in the beginning user accounts and have multiple lines. So that way, as you add 1 or 2 employees, they are working through your Dialpad. So this kind of, and you don't have to do it all through your phone. You just can. You can put this up on your PC in your office. So are you ready?
Yeah, I am. And that's actually what I'm going to share. So I'll share my screen. Let's see. And there we go. All right, so now you should be able to see my Dialpad screen. There we go. And so Dialpad, like Debbie was mentioning.
There we go.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. As Debbie was mentioning, Dialpad is an app that you can run on your computer and use with a headset like what I'm wearing right now. You can actually make phone calls through your computer, or you can use an app on your phone. You can do both, and that's what we do here in my business. And you can use Dialpad to set up departments in your business. You can use it for calling or texting. There is some group texting capabilities, like for your team as your business grows. But the way that we have set up Dialpad here in my business is we've created 3 departments. And so the first thing that you have is called your main line. And we had another phone system prior to this. We were testing, as I mentioned before, several phone systems. And so we had a phone number that we'd already established with our customers that we were using on another voice over IP system. The nice thing about Dialpad is we were able to port that number over, which is right here on the screen, this number right there. That is our main phone line. And we brought that from our old voice over IP system. But they can also help you find a new number. And
so that way, if you've been using your own cell phone, but you want to transition to a different phone number, you can get a phone number for free here, teach it to all your clients, but you'll still ring your cell phone.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Yes. And I've even, some of the cleaning businesses that I'm working with as coach have decided to give up their personal phone number, make that their business number, port that into a system like Dialpad. Then they don't even have to transition their customers, and they just go get a new phone.
Even better.
Right? Even better, because then they don't even have it. Sometimes I wish I had done something like that, because a few customers still have my phone number. Every once in a while, they'll get in touch with me. But generally, we have been able to transition pretty much everyone over to this main phone number. So this is my main phone number, and there's all kinds of wonderful things that you can set up here. We've created a voicemail system, an answering system that answers our calls 24/7 and immediately transfers them to the right department. I have 3 departments in my business. So I have my main phone line, and then I have 3 departments. My first department is sales. So anyone who's calling about setting up new service or getting a quote, they click the number 1, and they are immediately sent to the phone of my lead salesperson. And, it's very simple, and it takes very, little time for that customer to transfer.
And what I love about that, Jeannie, is if it is after hours and the original message says, press 1 for sales. If they press 1 for sales and it's after hours, maybe it's Sunday at 2 p.m., the sales department can have its own voicemail, right?
Exactly. So you can set up voicemail for during business hours, and then a separate voicemail for when you're closed.
So imagine a voicemail that says, "Oh, I'm so sorry. You have reached the sales department. We really want to talk to you, and I will call you back first thing Monday morning. All you need to do is leave me your cell phone number and your email address on this message."
Yes,
right?
Exactly. Right.
How cool is that?
Yeah, it's wonderful. And, we always do have a selection on the menu that if their call is urgent, as we know, sometimes the call is urgent and they can't figure out how to reach us, that they can just press this number and it immediately takes them to a line where someone can help them.
Even better. And I forgot to ask earlier, as you're going through this, who on here, if you'll type into the chat, who is still using your cell phone for business? And you have some regrets about that. Who is still using your cell phone? So just type it in, my cell phone. Just type in my cell phone so we have an idea.
Yeah. And I remember those days. It was brutal, and as my business grew, especially right after I started working with you, Debbie, my business took off once I started in cleaning business fundamentals, but I hadn't switched over to the voice over IP system yet. Right. And I had to do that very quickly because I could not keep up with the number of calls I was getting for my business. And so it was great. It was
and when you're using your own cell phone for business, you really are never off. You're not off on the weekends. You're not off in the evenings because you can't help but see, that angry customer just called me. I mean, you can't help it. So,
and you feel like you have to take every prospective call. You don't want to lose that customer. You know that speed is important, and you just feel like you always have to be on. And it really affected my family life. And I've shared this with you before. Like my son would ask, "Hey, Mom, can you do this with me? Can you do that with me?" And I'd be like, "Oh, wait, I have a call. Wait, I have to take this call." And it was very disruptive.
Exactly.
Yes, it was very disruptive to my personal life. And so this is how you find freedom. This is why we got into the cleaning business to start with, because we thought we were going to have more freedom. But you have to create that distance between you and the phone line. And so here I'm showing on the screen right here, this is kind of how my users are set up. And I have 5 users on my account, and we each have our own direct line. And so we can give that direct line number to people if we want them to be able to reach us directly, but also our voicemail system is set up to automatically forward calls to each person depending on their call. Now, the way that my system is set up, I do have a paid account, and each of these lines is $20 per month. You don't have to have as many as I have. I'm just at that point in my business where I need this number of lines. And then I do have one desk phone in my office that my office manager uses, and that's an additional $20 a month. And then the nice thing about Dialpad is you can get a local number. People prefer to receive calls from local numbers. I think we all know that. And so there is a little bit of an additional charge for that local number. But we've had great experience with that. And so when our callers call in, let's see if I can bring up my departments. Here we go. I'm going to bring up my departments. So I have 3 departments again. Sales is my first department. So if someone calls in, they'll hear a message that says, if you're calling for an estimate or to set up new service, press 1, and they'll go directly to my sales team. And so here's my sales department, and I can go in, I can assign who receives those calls. Right now, it goes to Amy first, and then it rings to Katie's phone if Amy doesn't answer.
Okay, so I am loving that.
Yeah.
So it's not just going to go to voicemail because somebody's on the phone. It's going to go to the next available representative. And if you have some VAs working for you, you can add those lines as well.
Exactly.
Awesome.
And we tested this. It works great and seamless for our customers. And that's one of the things that I hear from my business is they love the great communication that they receive from our team. And I think Dialpad is a partner in that. That's helping us be great communicators. So you can set your business hours here. Right now, I have my setting as always take calls, but then my voicemail explains what our business hours are. And it says, if your call is outside of business hours, we'll return your call as soon as possible. So we don't have 2 separate messages set up, but you can. You can definitely have your during business hours calls go to one message and your after business hours calls go to another message, or like maybe forward to a call service that you have or something like that. And this thing, voice intelligence, is really great. So Dialpad transcribes all of our phone calls. And it also listens to the voice, this is kind of amazing. And it picks out the important points of the call so that you can easily sort through that transcription. You can also record calls. If you're training a salesperson or a customer service person, you can record their calls and listen to them and coach them on, the best way to handle certain situations. We love that particular feature. And then there are some other settings on that you can set up call waiting and things like that. And I have this for each department. If they call and they're an existing customer calling with a question about their schedule or they want to make some change to their service, they press 2 and they automatically go to our scheduling manager. And it rings right to her phone and it rings to her computer desktop because that's pretty much where she's sitting all the time working on our schedule. And then she's able to use a headset and she can either text with people directly from her computer or she can use the phone. And just to kind of, use an example here, this is just a call where I was able to, I was texting with someone here. So you can see I can start a new message with this particular person. This was an employee reference that we were working on. And I'm able to just, type into this text message from my computer. I don't have to use my phone. You can also use voice, I believe, to text as well. We don't use that very much, but that's another option. And going back to my control panel, so for each department, I can change the settings, and I have a third line that people can go to for any other questions. So our voicemail says, if you're calling regarding billing or any other questions, press 3, and that goes directly to my office manager. And that rings to our office phone and to her cell phone because she works remotely a few days a week. So it works out perfectly. If you have people working in the field, they don't have to be in your office to answer the phone. the phone goes with them. And my office manager was saying one of her favorite features is you can set your status. I'm going to go back to my line. Oops. Uh-oh, something happened there. Up in the corner, you can actually set your call status. And here it is, set your status. And I can say I'm in a meeting, I'm out sick, I'm on vacation, and the calls will go right to your voicemail. Debbie, I've got some background sound coming through. I don't know if you can hear me, but you might want to mute.
Thank you. I'll fix that.
Thanks. And yeah, so let's see. So I mentioned the transcription. There's another great feature that we use when our staff go on vacation and someone else has to take their calls. So if I go to my settings here, I can scroll down in my settings and there's this setting called Executive Assistant. And this is wonderful because I can quickly add another person to a phone line and they can receive the calls for someone. So my lead salesperson went on vacation for a week recently, and we immediately just we put her name in here, and I'm just going to demonstrate. I'm not going to set it up, but you can just go in here and it picks who the executive is, and then you assign an assistant who will then receive their phone calls while they're gone. And it just takes a few moments to set it up. Very convenient. I can do that for myself as well. But honestly, I don't receive many business calls anymore as my business has grown. My team has grown as well. You can choose where your calls go at different times of the day. I do use it for some group texting. I will admit it can only take up to 9 people on the group text. So if you have a larger team than that, you might need to use another communication tool. And I'm sure someone will be talking about some of those in some of our future tech talks that you can use for team communication. You can also forward voicemails to anyone on the team. You can forward a call to anyone on the team. So maybe somebody pushed the wrong button on our voicemail. I can easily forward that to anyone on my team. And it's really easy to set up, but I will say this about Dialpad, their support is amazing. And that's one of the reasons that we settled on Dialpad. The price was right, an easy to use online and desktop and phone-based app. And they have amazing support and they're very responsive. And if I can't figure something out, I just call them. They have it set up in 5 minutes. So it's been a great experience.
So I think that's really important because there's all kinds of competing programs out there, but if it takes you hours to figure it out, and one phone call to a really good tech support system, it's like, oh, just click here and add this and do that. And you're like, oh, thank you. It makes all the difference in the world.
Well, and that's why we switched from our last one. I don't want to say anything bad about any business or, plan, but the last one, the tech support was terrible. And I would be on the phone for hours. I would have to set aside, if I was going to call them, I'd have to set aside hours. Where this one, I just know if I call in 5 minutes, they will have a solution or they have great follow-up. So they immediately send me an email and start an email thread with me if they can't fix the problem right away or they can't answer the question right away. So I've had an outstanding experience with their support. Just how we want to have great support for our clients, I look for that in our business as well. So we really try to find businesses that are easy to work with, and I would say Dialpad has been one of those. So I'm going to stop sharing here. There we go. Okay.
I absolutely love it. So obviously we got off to a bit of a rocky start today, but I think we pulled it all back together because you just provided a very valuable resource for a small business or a large business, actually. But for a small business, you can operate from home. You can check your voicemails and answer texts from your computer, from your phone. But better than all of that, when you are no longer just the only person in the company, it makes it so much easier to scale and add staff, but you can kind of keep an eye on what they're doing and what they're saying. And you can listen to recorded calls to see how they're doing with the sales process and coach them.
Exactly. And it's been great. And really, this allows you to run your business from anywhere. This is everything in this cloud-based world has given us so much freedom as business owners. We just need to take advantage of them and not be intimidated by the technology. And like I said, find a company that has great support. So if you aren't a tech person, this isn't your, specialty or your skill set, find a company that's going to help you get set up easily. And that's what I found with this particular one. I know there are many of them out there that are great, but if you want to have freedom, you do have to create that distance. Like you taught us, Debbie, in Cleaning Business Fundamentals, you have to set those boundaries with your team and with your customers so that you can have a life. And your customers want you to have a life. They don't want you to be feeling like you're being dogged all day long by calls, And they're going to understand completely that you need to set these boundaries. You need to have office hours. But I have talked to several business owners that live in a different state than their business.
Yes.
And this is the kind of tool that allows you to have that kind of freedom.
This is the kind of tool that allows you to go on vacation if you're a small business and still be able to monitor things, still be able to check and see if your staff are answering calls or following up on leads. Or if you're on vacation and this gives you a professional way to look like you're at work when you're sitting on the beach and you're making confirmation phone calls and they see the phone number is your business number. They have no idea that you're sitting on the beach. So for any of you, so we have a couple of questions that have come in, and guys, don't forget, if you go to StreamYard.com/Facebook and give StreamYard permission to broadcast your Facebook profile, then I'll be able to see your name. But a few questions have come up. Hi, Jeannie. Which plan do you have with Dialpad? Do you have the Pro plan or the free plan?
I have the Pro plan. To get all of the features that we needed, we did have to have a paid account, but it's great to try it out for free at first.
Exactly.
And I think, all of them out there will offer you a free line to test it. And so it is worth it just to see if it's something that you're comfortable with.
And free goes a long way, especially when you're small.
Yes.
And you don't need all the additional accounts and all the additional features like recording. And I think you might even be able to get the phone number for free in the beginning.
Yeah.
You just
the
don't
first
have
phone number.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So free is a great way to start when you're small and then just go up to it. Somebody else says, I am loving that part about the ringing the other people in the office or sending it to a VA or whatever. Now, Joanne says, does this integrate with Keep or Infusionsoft, which is also known as Keep?
I would guess that it probably does. You probably would need to have like Zapier or something like that in between the two systems. I haven't looked at Keep's integrations, but I do know that it has some integrations available.
I think it does. I was looking at some videos over the weekend, and I believe they were showing that you can, for sure, you can link it with your Google contacts and so forth.
Yes.
So there probably is a way to integrate so that all your contacts are in there, kind of like your own caller ID.
Yeah. And the paid account does also come with Uber Conference integrated as well. So you can use that for online meetings. If you want to record video and things like that, you can use your Uber Conference for that.
Excellent. And Uber Conference is free.
Right. Yes. And so it does integrate with that. And I have found it just so helpful for recording calls. If I want to record a call and I'm training someone on one call, I can record it and send it to someone else. And so I don't have to do it again. So the recording feature is really nice.
Excuse me. Okay, so since we were a little late starting, we went a little bit longer today, but our goal is to keep it at 30 minutes on Tuesdays, guys, just so you can get a lot of information. I'm going to cough here, so hang on.
Okay. So, Debbie, one of the things that I wanted to say is if you're really out there and you are looking for the right technology for your business, that's why we felt really strongly about creating these Tech Talk Tuesdays. We've talked about it a lot over the last few months as we've been going through COVID, and technology has become so important as many of us have had to run our businesses remotely, or some of our staff are working remotely. And technology is one of the ways that allows you to do that and grow your business. And so if that's something that you're really looking for help with, the Cleaning Business Fundamentals program is a great place to be, because people share very freely within that community their experiences with different technology. So like today, as I talked about, I shared with you that I tested several systems before I landed on Dialpad. It helps you not spend all that time. Other people can help you find the best tool for your business. And so if you are looking for help with that, I really encourage you to consider being part of Cleaning Business Fundamentals in that private group. And if you'd like to know more about that, I'm going to be posting a link where you can schedule a free call with me if you want to learn more about Cleaning Business Fundamentals. It's been a life-changing program for me. My business would never have grown to the level that it is at now, and I would not have the freedom-based business that I do if I had not been part of Cleaning Business Fundamentals and learned so much from Debbie Sardone and all the other members who are part of Cleaning Business Fundamentals. So I'll be sharing that link here in the group.
I'm so glad you mentioned that because Jeannie is now a coach, and now she has the freedom and the tools like Dialpad. She has the freedom to actually coach many of you that need help and many of you that want to get your business as quickly as she did to the next level. And so Cleaning Business Fundamentals is where you can go to learn more, but you can also book a complimentary session with Jeannie. She's going to pop that in there for you to take a look at. And then one quick reminder is next week is CBF Live Encore. Guys, if you have never been a part of CBF and you want a taste of some of the amazing teaching and direction and residential cleaning specific information that we share, go get registered. We're taking the live event we did in March and we're duplicating it. We're kind of shaving out some of the things to kind of shorten it. And we'll go from 9 to 3 p.m. The 3 days next week, the 27th, 28th, and 29th. You get registered at cbflive.com and let us help change your business forever. Jeannie will be on there at some point. Some of our other coaches will be on there. You're going to absolutely love it. Jeannie has posted her link for you to go and book a free session with her. Just take a little bit of time to talk about your business and how she can help you. So click on that link and schedule a time or go to cbflive.com, guys, and join us. But Jeannie, thank you for sharing Dialpad. I'm more excited about it now than I was. And I think this is such a great solution. You know, when people join CBF, all of a sudden they start growing. And maybe they haven't grown. Like I talked to somebody yesterday, she hasn't grown her business in 16 years. Not really. And I think about tools like this that she's going to be ready for in just a few months as she expands. So this is what we needed.
Yes, exactly. And I just encourage you, take a look at Dialpad. And if you do have any questions, do schedule a free call with me. I'd love to talk with you about your business. There's nothing I'm more passionate about is to help people grow their businesses and have a better life. So
Absolutely.
Thank you, Debbie, for having me today.
You are welcome. We love it. And this was really a good one to kick off because Dialpad is something I think so many people need. Guys, we will do this on Tuesdays. If you have ideas on a specific technology you would love to learn more about, just go ahead and ping us and let us know so we can put that on our list. We have some other experts lined up, people that are actually using these specific technologies in their residential cleaning business. Because one thing is, it's hard to know how to apply different softwares and apps and programs specific to your cleaning business, right? You can learn all these apps, but if there's not a specific application on how would this work for residential cleaning, it makes it much harder to utilize all the features that will, save you time, help you make money, help you live better. So join us each Tuesday at noon, and we'll still do it next Tuesday, even though Encore will still be going on. We'll still do this Tech Time next Tuesday, and you can always catch the replay in the Facebook group if you are in the Encore. So, all right, guys. Thank you, Jeannie.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And guys, thanks for hanging in there as we struggled with Facebook not letting us go live, but we had a backup plan. We used StreamYard. So thanks, everybody. I hope you have a great afternoon. Thanks, Jeannie.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.